Hello everyone, welcome back to That's English.
Hi there. Today we're talking about regrets, when you feel sad about the way you behaved in the past.
Is there anything you regret, Kieran?
Well, yes. I wish I'd spent more time with Albert before he passed away.
Oh, who was Albert? A friend?
He was my pet rat when I was a child.
Oh. In today's episode, we meet Bridget's mum, Julia, who has some regrets of her own concerning a family matter.
As you watch, answer this question. Why did Julia and her Aunt Flora fall out, have an argument?
Oh, Mum, you're so clever. These cakes look amazing. You should go on that TV baking competition, the Great British Bake Off.
Bridget, if I find your fingerprints in that icing, you'll regret it.
What do you mean? I'm just looking, I'm not touching.
I'm glad to hear it. Do you remember when you were 6 and you ate that whole bowl of cake mixture?
Yes, I really regretted doing that. I felt ill for days.
Hey, Julia. Hey, honey. How are you getting on?
Fine, thank you, Anthony. Aren't we, Bridget? Thank you for bringing this, Anthony.
No problem. What's in there? It's kind of heavy.
Just a lot of old junk, really. I wish I'd thrown out this stuff ages ago. I just never really found the right moment.
If only I could keep some of it myself, but I just don't have the room. Oh, Mum, you can't give these away. I love these. I was queen of the roller disco.
Do you remember your first roller disco? If only you hadn't been quite so enthusiastic, darling. 2 minutes of dancing, followed by a trip to hospital and 6 weeks with a leg in plaster.
What's this?
Oh, it's my head massager. It's amazing. Look.
Wow, yes. I wish I had one of those.
Oh, I'd forgotten about this.
Oh, Mum, don't throw that away. You're bound to regret it.
No, I can assure you I'll never regret getting rid of this. It was given to me by my Aunt Flora.
She must really like cats.
She does. She had about 12 of them last time I saw her.
Mum and Aunt Flora fell out, didn't you, Mum?
Yes, several years ago I was visiting her and there were cats everywhere. I'm allergic to cats, you see. I start sneezing, my eyes water, I get a rash. I asked her to put them outside while I was there. She took offence and asked me to leave instead. We haven't been in contact since then.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. You know, I didn't see my grandpa for years before he passed away, and I really regret not having made the effort to visit him. I wish I'd spent more time with him.
Yes, Mum. Anthony's right. I think you'll regret it if you don't get in touch with Aunt Flora and make it up. Come on, Anthony. Let's go and see the other stalls.
Hello? Aunt Flora? It's me, Julia.
Those cakes looked delicious.
Were you able to answer the question, why did Julia and her Aunt Flora fall out?
Several years ago, I was visiting her and there were cats everywhere. I'm allergic to cats, you see. I start sneezing, my eyes water, I get a rash. I asked her to put them outside while I was there. She took offence and asked me to leave instead. We haven't been in contact since then.
Aunt Flora refused to put her cats outside when Julia was visiting.
She asked Julia to leave and they haven't been in contact since then.
In the video, we heard different ways of expressing wishes using if only and I wish.
If only I could keep some of it myself, but I just don't have the room.
Wow, yes. I wish I had one of those.
To express a wish about our present situation, we use the past tense. For example, I'm hungry. I wish I could eat those cakes.
We also heard people expressing regrets using the same phrases.
I wish I'd thrown out this stuff ages ago. I just never really found the right moment. If only you hadn't been quite so enthusiastic, darling.
To express a regret about the past, we use the past perfect. I wish I had learned to cook when I was a child.
Did you also notice the different ways we use the word regret?
No, I can assure you I'll never regret getting rid of this.
I didn't see my grandpa for years before he passed away, and I really regret not having made the effort to visit him.
I think you'll regret it if you don't get in touch with Aunt Flora and make it up. Yes, I really regretted doing that. I felt ill for days.
Verbs after regret take ing.
Kieran, I regret not having a pet when I was younger. Maybe I'll get one now.
Well, you should. You're bound to regret it if you don't.
Let's get back to the video. At the end of the first part, Julia visited Aunt Flora and they became friends again.
As you watch the second part, try to answer this question. What does Aunt Flora want Julia to do and why?
I'm really sorry about Aunt Flora. She was lovely.
At least I was able to spend lots of time with her before she passed away. Still, I wish we'd seen more of each other over the years.
Yes, well, it's much nicer to have good memories instead of regretting the bad ones.
Since she died, so many people have offered their condolences. I always thought she was just an old lady with something of a cat obsession.
I don't think there's any doubt about the cat obsession. Her house was like a cat rescue centre.
The last time we spoke, she reminded me that I'd always wanted to go on the Orient Express. She asked me if I'd managed to realise my dreams. I wish I had, but I was always too busy, or I didn't have the money.
That's a pity.
Anyway, she told me that life was too short to say I wish I'd done this or that, and she planned to meet her maker without a single regret.
That sounds like good advice.
Hello there. Sorry to keep you waiting. May I start by offering my condolences and deepest sympathy for your loss.
Thank you.
That's very kind of you.
Now, the reading of a will can be an occasion for both good and bad news.
Of course.
However, this news is all good.
Oh, that's nice.
This is the last will and testament of Flora Dixon, deceased, formerly of the Rook, Trafalgar Gardens.
If it's okay with you, we don't mind if you just tell us what Aunt Flora wanted.
Yes. Well, your aunt wished to leave her house and all its contents to a charity, the Cat Rescue Trust, for them to set up a new cat's home to be called the Flora Feline Centre.
Oh, that's lovely.
Definitely. I can't think of a better use for Aunt Flora's money.
Oh, no, she's left her money to you, together with this.
Can you read this, darling? I've forgotten my glasses.
Yes, of course. Dear Julia, I hope that your grief over my death didn't last long. I had a very good life and became friends with you once more,
so I have no regrets. I'm leaving all my money to you, but my only expressed wish is this. The money is yours on condition that you use some of it to take a trip on the Orient Express. Finally, I hope that you and Bridget live long and happy lives, and like me, you'll never regret a thing.
That's beautiful.
Honestly, only Aunt Flora could wish for a cat's home and a trip on the world's most romantic railway.
Hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late. And I'm awfully sorry about Aunt Flora. She was one of a kind.
Yes, she was. She's going to have a cat rescue centre named after her, and she wants Mum to take her dream trip on the Orient Express.
Julia, you have to go. There's no doubt. If you don't, you'll live to regret it.
Anthony's right, Mum. Remember Aunt Flora. A life with no regrets.
Well, at least Julia could spend some time with her aunt before she died.
Yes. And Aunt Flora left Julia all her money in her final will and testament.
Did you answer the question? What does Aunt Flora want Julia to do and why?
I'm leaving all my money to you, but my only express wish is this. The money is yours on condition that you use some of it to take a trip on the Orient Express. Finally, I hope that you and Bridget live long and happy lives, and like me, you'll never regret a thing.
She wants Julia to take a trip on the Orient Express so that she doesn't have any regrets.
When people die, we express our sympathy by offering condolences. In the video, we heard some different ways.
I'm really sorry about Aunt Flora.
May I start by offering my condolences and deepest sympathy for your loss?
Awfully sorry about Aunt Flora.
Saying sorry is the most common way, but the solicitor used a more formal expression of condolence because he isn't a personal friend.
A colleague's father passed away last week.
Oh, you should offer your condolences and deepest sympathy for his loss.
I'm like Aunt Flora. I don't want to have any regrets when I finally meet my maker.
Yes, no regrets.
Well, it's time to hear from people on the street about the things they do and don't regret.
We asked them, are you the kind of person who regrets things, or do you believe that what's done is done?
I think everything happens for a reason. What's done is done.
I'm not the sort of person who carries a lot of regrets. Once it's done, it's done.
Can't really live to regret too much because life is too short. You gotta try and be as happy as you can and not regret everything.
What's done is done, yeah. I don't really think that you should regret certain things. Probably just learn from it. You might feel bad about it, but you shouldn't regret it.
Yeah.
Never regret anything. Like I said earlier, you have to learn from your experiences. If you made mistakes, you get better from them. But if you made a choice, you have to live with it and can't regret.
There's definitely a lot of things I regret in life, and part of the healing process is thinking with that mindset that what's done is done and you need to move on from it.
Regret's the worst to feel, so I guess, like you said before, if a decision's been made, then stand by it. No regrets.
I believe in principle that what's done is done, and that it's better for the soul and the psyche to let things drop. But when I wake up in the middle of the night, I often have to work hard to drop the leftovers of the day, the things I didn't accomplish or wish I hadn't said.
No, I believe what's done is done, and there's no point in regretting. Since you can't change anything that's happened, why regret it?
So it sounds like most people don't like to live with regrets and can accept that what's done is done.
As Victor says, it's better to learn from your mistakes than to regret them.
George said he thinks it's best to let things drop, which means to let go of regret.
He's right.
Well, that's it for today's programme. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.